Just before Christmas, we tackled a few things at the end of the year that fit in well with the festive season. Firstly, like many Germans, we ask ourselves, how long are the shops actually open? In the book or film about Ebenezer Scrooge, we see that the accountant Bob Cratchit also had to work on Christmas Eve, and traditionally in Germany there is something prepared on Christmas Eve, like sausages with potato salads or sandwiches or something similar, because people were still working on Christmas Eve. Typically the shops are open until midday or 2 p.m. at the latest. After that, working hours can be quite expensive, but also lucrative for the employee, up to 150% tax-free surcharge. So, if you still need something, you should have bought it by midday on Christmas Eve, after which you can probably only go shopping again on the 27th. This often also applies to bakeries. Before Christmas, the German fridges are really full. Then we ask ourselves whether it's actually possible that you have to take a holiday after Christmas. While it is quite normal in Europe and large parts of the world to take the paid holiday to which you are entitled, there are countries where it is considered reprehensible for employees to take their holiday entitlement in order to recharge their batteries and then return to work motivated. But in Germany, it is the employee who decides when to take holiday. Section 7 of the Bundesurlaubsgesetz, German Federal Leave Act, states that the employee's holiday wishes must be taken into account unless there are urgent operational reasons to the contrary. We already had this in the video on holidays, but in the sense that not the whole department can take holiday at the same time, and then some cannot take holidays in the summer vacation. However, many companies have company holidays between Christmas and New Year. In this case, the company says that it is not worth opening the business and therefore sends everybody on holiday, which is of course deducted from the annual entitlement. These can be the operators of all-day schools or kindergartens, but they can also be production companies or perhaps a law firm or doctor's surgery. Yes, it is permissible for the boss to send an entire company on holiday for a while. Even the National People's Army of the GDR granted more soldiers Christmas leave towards the end of the year, pointing out that there were virtually no soldiers in the barracks of the Bundeswehr and that there was no reason to fear an attack by the class enemy. Such company holidays should be announced to employees at least 6 months in advance so that they can coordinate their own planning. There are often agreements with the Works Council. There are also economic reasons for this, because if the machines can only be operated with overtime on the Christmas holidays, then it may be worth considering shutting them down completely. And when switching to new machines or software programs, a time is often used when normal operations are not disrupted and the majority of employees are on holiday. Then most of them are on holiday and a few still have to work. On the other hand, there is also a kind of holiday block, Urlaubssperre. At least that's what it's called. For operational reasons, no holiday is granted unless there's a serious exception. This is often the case in retail, as shops are very busy before and shortly after Christmas. First presents are bought, and then after the festive period, food is bought or presents are exchanged. Elsewhere, Christmas used to be the busiest time of the year, and the Norddeich coastal radio station, which was operated by the Bundespost until the end of 1998, had the highest volume of call requests and telegrams around Christmas. At that time, the transmitter maintained radio contact with German ships all over the world. The radio operators at Norddeich Radio were then on holiday block at Christmas. Now their satellite phone and the internet and coastal radio is no longer so important, so operations were discontinued at the end of 1998. However, one institution still runs shortwave frequencies as Christmas. Gruß an Bord, Greetings on Board, is an NDR program that broadcasts greetings every year on Christmas Eve from 8 to 10 in the evening. In 1953, for the first time, the collected greetings were sent to sailors in the seven seas. In the weeks leading up to this, reporters traveled to the coastal towns of northern Germany, or, as in case today, relatives come together to record and can send greetings to loved ones on freighters, on holiday steamers, on the rescue crews of the DGZRS or the German Navy, who cannot be at home on Christmas Eve. So, if you see a shop, perhaps your hairdresser or your favorite restaurant closes between the years, it may have something to do with the old superstition of the Rauhnächte and the old tradition of giving servants and maidens free time. But in any case, you should be happy that the employees and the boss have the opportunity to spend some quality time with their loved ones. And if you are working between the years, I found it quite pleasant in the office because you weren't disturbed much. And in the Bundeswehr, it was also very nice because the cooks had made a special effort with the food. And if you perhaps work in the care or rescue service, I wish you a peaceful service. Maybe you'll have time off next year. And think about whether you have sent a Christmas greeting to all your loved ones. And if you yourself have nothing to do with the Christian Christmas festivities, hopefully you can still enjoy the contemplative atmosphere. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a peaceful time. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.